Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Swamiji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Again on the fourth day.
Prabhuji.
Fourth day. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Where am I? I'm trying to find out where. Yes, I'm here. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Welcome.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Dhamma Pranam. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Namaskar. Hare Krishna. Let me share.
Prabhuji, please enable the chat.
Yeah, sure. We will.
Some kids are doing always chatting.
Exactly.
Yes, Prabhuji, this is very disturbing a lot class.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
they are
Prabhuji.
sincerely listening. Sometimes they are chatting naughty things.
Thank you. I will do that now. Okay. Hare Krishna. Welcome again back to fourth day of Bhagavad-gītā. We are going to read fourth chapter today. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mokam Karoti Vachalam Pankum Lankayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dīnatarinam Paramanandamadhavam Shri Chaitanyamishwaram Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Yonda Pravishya Mamavajamimam Prasuttam Sanjeevayatya Shakti-dhara Swadhamnam Anyam Sahasranashramanatvagadin Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam. Hare Krishna. So now,
Hare Krishna Swamiji.
yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
One second.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
One second. Oh, time waste now. There's a security report here. That's unmute. Unmute எடுத்துடுங்க. Security report. கட் பண்ணுங்க. நீ அடுத்து போங்க. வேணும். கட் பண்ணுங்க. Chat கட் பண்ணுங்க. Chat கட் பண்ணுங்க. Chat okay. Sorry for the delay. 1 second. Thank you. So now, just to recapitulate what was there in chapter 3. So just to recapitulate all these machines, I'm not so very expert in handling, I'm sorry. So just to recapitulate what we read yesterday, what we studied yesterday, we had chapter 3. That chapter 3 was divided into 4 parts: renunciation, yoga ladder, exemplary lifestyle, and biggest challenge. And here we learned renunciation means detachment from possessiveness and detachment from enjoying propensity, and does not mean stopping all activities. And we have to, the real way of developing detachment is by satisfying Lord Vishnu. Satisfaction of Vishnu is possible through performance of yoga. And there are so many misconceptions on what is yoga. And there are basically, before coming to yoga, we discussed there are 2 options for living unity. We can either choose to remain sinful, or we can choose to remain sinless. Then there are materialistic people who are karmis, not at all interested in spiritual life. There are people interested in karma kanda for gaining material things through spiritual emancipation, not wanting spiritual emancipation, but they want to do enjoy. And then there are karma yogis who will actually ultimately they will also reach emancipation, or they will also reach devotional service to Krishna. Then we said about exemplary lifestyle, how we have to, everybody who is a natural leader should behave properly, and it is mentioned that there are so many enemies. Even though we want to be exemplary, what is stopping us? There are 2 things: lust and anger. And where are they situated? They are situated in different places. They are situated in senses, they are situated in mind, they are situated in intelligence. So that's the biggest challenge. Biggest challenge is to control. We spoke about love and lust. Somebody asked me a doubt whether loving parents is wrong. It is not at all wrong, because what is love and what is lust, there is a lot of difference between these 2. Okay, when the mother, even during this time when it is very hot, you can ask your mother, what is love? Mother will cook for you. The mother is willing to cook for you, take all troubles for you, because she loves you. Okay, and sometimes the children are not willing to take care of that mother, then that becomes lust, because they want to enjoy, they don't want to give, they want to love somebody else. So love and lust we have learned very thoroughly. And then there are degrees of covering of lust. Some people covered so much so that they don't know what is God. They are not interested in knowing what is God, who is God. And some people are little bit happy, little bit they're having consciousness, and some people are bright. So 3 degrees of covering we learned. And ultimately, we actually came to the conclusion that in order to control, get over this greatest enemy of lust and anger, we have to actually have spiritual knowledge. Therefore, the next chapter is named spiritual knowledge, transcendental knowledge. That is spiritual knowledge. Transcendental means beyond the capacity of our senses or mind or intelligence. That is transcendental, beyond. So the 4th chapter is known as transcendental knowledge or Jnana Yoga. This chapter also has been divided into 4 portions for easy understanding. And the first portion of this chapter is first 10 shlokas that speaks about eternal education. The second 5 shlokas deal with removing all the misconceptions by Krishna. The third portion, third portion deals with removing all reactions, how to get out of the reactions of our actions, and how to perform our actions properly. And then the 4th section is sacrifices. That means you have to give up something for gaining something higher. If you want to play, then you will not get good marks. All the time play, no reading, then you will not get good marks, right? Similarly, you want to play, not doing any business, you will not get any money. You want to while away your time doing this and that, then you will not be able to, you will not be properly situated in your life. So similarly, sacrifice is very much required for success in every field. So what is sacrifice? That also is dealt with in this particular chapter, known as transcendental knowledge or Jnana Yoga. Why knowledge is required? In order to get over the greatest enemies. Our greatest enemies are lust and anger. Now the first sloka deals with, the first sloka is the second sloka of the fourth chapter. Says, the first sloka Krishna says, Sri Bhagavan Vacha, so let me take the Bhagavad-gītā, fourth chapter. The first sloka explains, Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Ahamam Vayam Vivasvan Manave Praha Manurikshvagave Bravit. So, there is I want to tell you a small analogy. So, say there is a huge mango tree, very tall mango tree, and the mangoes are very, very sweet, king of all the mangoes. So that mango fruits are standing top. And then how do you want to, when you want to take the mangoes down, normally what they do is, nowadays they have a machine, they have, not machine, a huge stick with a basket in it, and you plug that. But then there is another method of doing it, that one person who is expert in climbing the tree will go on top next to the mango, and then he will plug the mango and give it to the person sitting down to him. And then he will hand over to the other person. He will hand over to the other person. Like this, if you bring the mango down, the mango will be, undamaged. Mango will not be damaged. But if a person goes on top and plucks it and throws it from there, the mango will become mango chutney by the time it reaches floor, right? It will become destroyed. You cannot eat anymore. You cannot enjoy that mango. Similarly, the knowledge is coming down from God. See, here you can see Krishna is there, Radharani is there, Gopikas is there, Gopas are there. So Krishna is there, transcendently situated in Goloka Vrindavana or Vaikuntha. And from there, Lord Brahmaji, he receives the knowledge. He is the topmost living entity of this universe. He receives the knowledge from Krishna. And then from Brahma, Narada received it. And then Narada, Vyasadeva received it. Like that, Akṣaya-tṛtīyā received it. Like that, Madhvacharya received it. Like that, came down to a parampara. So here it is mentioned, Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu sakale neha mahata yogo nastha parantapa. Parampara praptam. Here you can see Srila Prabhupada's photo, and we are learning this Bhagavad-gītā through Srila Prabhupada. See, so Prabhupada's Guru Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, his Guru Jagannath Gaur-Krishnadas Babaji, his Guru Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Like that is coming in a parampara actually. So the knowledge is handed down. So the supreme science was this received through the chain of disciplic succession. And the saintly kings understood in this way, in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. So the science has been lost. How it is lost? Because in between some person did not do the job of handing it down to his next person. Okay. So that is how the eternal education is coming down. Eternal education is coming down in this way. So it's called Aroha Pantha, Avaroha Pantha. There are two methods actually. Aroha Pantha means by your own speculation, you are trying to understand what is the absolute truth. Avaroha Pantha means the person sitting on top is giving you the knowledge. So which will be better? It will be better if the teacher tells the knowledge to the student. If the student is asked to find out how many years it will take, he may never understand things properly. So it is always better that we listen to the spiritual master. This is called Avaroha Pantha. It is coming. Aroha Pantha, that is coming down. Avaroha Pantha means we are trying to climb up. That way we may not reach anywhere. Okay. So this education, this is eternal education. This is the nature of eternal education. And now let us discuss who can acquire this eternal education, who is qualified, from whom we should get, and what is it all about. And one by one we are seeing it. Who can acquire? See Arjuna. Arjuna is listening from Krishna. See, in the picture you can see the mood of Arjuna. He with folded hands. He is listening to Krishna. So this picture gives a lot, speaks a lot. This picture itself speaks a lot. See on the left hand side you see devotee. Who can acquire? A devotee can acquire. See in Kurukshetra, at the time of war, there were so many people. Many people were even more qualified than Arjuna to receive this knowledge. Right? Many more people were there. Like Bhishma Acharya is supposed to be a Mahajana, great person. Karna was there. He was very learned person. And Dronacharya was there. The guru of Arjuna was there. Pandavas and Kauravas, gurus were there. Guru was there. Kripacharya was there. And there are so many people. Drishtadyumna was there. There are so many learned, very well versed people were there. Even Yudhishthira was there. His own, Arjuna's own brother Yudhishthira was far better than Arjuna in learning. So, why Krishna chose Arjuna to speak Bhagavad-gītā? This is spoken by Krishna himself. Krishna himself is telling Arjuna, Arjuna, it is not that I cannot speak to anybody else, but I am choosing you for these two purposes. One is, you are bhakto sime sakha cheti rahasyam hi edaduttamam bhakto si asi. You are my devotee. That means what? What is the meaning of a devotee? A devotee is a person. A devotee is a person who is actually willing to accept whatever is being told. That's the meaning of devotee. A devotee accepts as it comes, whereas a non-devotee will not accept. He will challenge. See, imagine if Yudhishthira was in place of Arjuna, then Krishna speaks to Yudhishthira. Then Yudhishthira will say, according to the material calculation, you are younger to me. I know many, many better things than you know. You would have told. Or you would have not taken it so seriously. See, Bhishma Deva is like a grandfather, and Krishna cannot go and speak to him, and he will not be able to accept. He's not a devotee. They are not basically a nature of a devotion. Devotee nature is not there. See, here Arjuna is a devotee. He is able to accept. He is not simply arguing back. Yesterday we were discussing how when a student is arguing with the teacher, he will not be able to learn anything, right? 1 + 1 is equal to 3. If somebody says, that means he will not know what is mathematics. So there will be no more learning if you start arguing. So you are able to accept whatever is being told. You are able to accept the authority of the person who is speaking. So that's the meaning of a devotee. So Arjuna was a devotee of Krishna. Means Arjuna was accepting whatever Krishna is saying. Arjuna, you can see in Bhagavad-gītā the type of questions Arjuna is asking. It is not in a challenging mood. He is asking in a submissive mode. So he is a devotee. And he is a friend also. What's the meaning of a friend? Therefore, we also need to be a devotee. To understand what is the meaning of Bhagavad-gītā, we also need to be a devotee. We should not also have a challenging mentality. Oh, Krishna, I know all these things. If you already think you know everything, then you cannot know anything. Just like water, if you keep a glass open like this without lid, then you can fill the glass with water. But if you cover it up or keep the glass upside down, then you cannot fill water. How much ever gallons of water you put on top of it, it will not fetch 1 drop of water also. Why? Because it is not receiving. It's not receiving. The receptacle is closed. So our brain, our intelligence, our mind should be open to receive the knowledge of Bhagavad-gītā. That is why, that is the meaning of saying a devotee. We should open our mind. We should listen to Bhagavad-gītā with an open mind, with an open intelligence. Then you will be able to receive it. If you are already closed with so many things, you will not be able to learn. 2 people went for learning harmonium, it seems. And one person told the teacher that I already know something, some basics, Srirangam, Padhanisa, I know. I know how to, which note I know. And then the teacher asked the second person here, he said, I don't know anything. I have not even seen a harmonium. And the teacher told, fees. Then teacher fixed the fees. He said, the one who said, I know a little bit of harmonium, he told that person, you have to pay 100 rupees every month. And then he told the other person who doesn't know anything, he told, you have to pay 50 rupees every month. And that person got angry. Why? I know something I told you already know. And why I should, why I should pay more? The teacher said, first I have to make you unlearn whatever you have learned improperly. So similarly, and we have so many, if we know everything, then we will not be able to accept. So that's why we must be a devotee to learn Bhagavad-gītā. It's like Arjuna was a devotee who accepted when Krishna said something. And then, Bhaktosme Sakhachiti, you are my friend, Krishna is telling. Therefore, I am telling you this. You are a friend. What is the meaning of a friend? So we should also be friendly with Krishna. How can we be friendly with Krishna? Just like, for example, again, another example, two people are meeting each other after so many years, after 40, 50 years, after say 20, 25 years, the two students they were students in the school, after 25, 30 years, they're meeting again each other. And then they're talking about the other friend who is a Rohit, the other friend called Rohit, they're talking about. And then one friend is saying, I recently met Rohit, Rohit has become a judge in a court. And the other person, from the beginning, he was envious of Rohit. So, what did he say? He said, no, how can he be? How can he be judge and all that? Actually, I only taught him mathematics. He wrote from my paper only. He overseen my paper from my paper only and pass examination. I only made him pass maths examination. He is not a very intelligent man. How can he be a judge? The other friend was saying. That means what? He is not able to tolerate seeing Rohit in that position, right? And then the friend is speaking, come, let us go and see. They both went to the court and they saw this Rohit is sitting as a judge and the court procedure is going on. Court proceedings are going on. And then the other person said, oh, he may be a judge, but he may not be getting his salary properly, man. That means what? He's so envious of that person. That's why he's not able to accept. See, friend means a person who is not envious. How can we be envious of Krishna? We have not even seen Krishna. How can we be envious of Krishna? We may ask a question. Yes, we cannot be envious. But then we have a tendency not to accept. I know Krishna. He was born in a jail and he was born for a father and mother who were arrested and who killed his uncle and what a person is. He was living like a cowherd boy. You are talking, he's God. How come he is speaking Bhagavad-gītā? So that is enviousness towards Krishna. Not able to accept Krishna as a supreme Lord, as was accepted by great acharyas, Asita, Devara, Vyasa. There are so many great sages accepted Krishna. Even Vyasadeva accepted Krishna as the supreme Lord. So we are not able to accept. Why? Because of our enviousness. We are not friendly with Krishna. So the quality to learn Bhagavad-gītā is Bhaktosme Sakhacheti. You should be a friend and you should be a devotee. And then one more qualification. What is that? You must put relevant inquiry. You should not put irrelevant questions. If you want to know, if you are a person who want to know things properly, that means you will ask, you will inquire properly. And then after inquiring, when something is told to you, then you should be able to follow it properly. You should have that much of quality to take it and follow that in your personal life. So these are the qualities of a person who can acquire the knowledge of Bhagavad-gītā. Okay, and now next is, so from whom we will accept. See, for example, somebody is doing very, very bad in mathematics or English or whatever subject, science, physics. So what the father and mother will do, the parents will go and find out a good teacher for mathematics. And then finally some of their friends told, that so and so is a good teacher of mathematics. And then he goes, they both go and see the teacher. And they go and ask the teacher, oh, teacher, you are a teacher of mathematics? Yes, I teach mathematics. So then next question, where did you learn, sir? You have finished your degree in mathematics? No. All that is not required. I am not a mathematician. I have not finished my mathematics degree. From which college you studied? I never went to the college, first of all. But I can teach mathematics. Will you send your child to that person to teach mathematics? No. What you will do? Okay, sir, thank you. We will find somebody else. So then we will inquire from where you got the degree, whether you have got a B.Ed degree, whether you are educated for educating people, and then then you are how many years you have been teaching, you have experience. What about the other students? All that we inquire, right? Inquire and finally convince that this person can teach very well. Then we will put our child with that person. Similarly, we have standards all over the world. For everything we have standards. If you have a degree from some university that is in some corner, some backyard of somebody's house, that university degree will not be accepted by anybody. But if you hold a degree of University of Oxford, oh, you will be held in high position. And then you want to buy something, you want to buy a pen or you want to buy anything, you will look for ISI mark, right? If it is accepted by Indian standard. So then it's according to Indian standards, we will buy this. Approved by ISI means we'll buy. Boldly we will buy without any doubt, because this is a quality product we know. So company, you're going to go for a company, look for a company from where you want to buy things. We'll see whether it is ISO certified company. If it is so, we will put full faith in them, right? Now, if you want to employ somebody, if a person comes with a degree from Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, then he will be, having so much of demand. Whatever salary he asks, they will give. They will employ him, and he will also deliver accordingly. Okay, and then you want to have Central Board of Secondary Education. You want to have, are you from a proper education institution? Are you from a doctor from proper education institution? All India Institute of Medical Sciences. And when you buy fridge, AC and all that, we will see the energy rating, whether it is 6-star, 5-star, 4-star, we'll see and buy. Similarly, to learn Bhagavad-gītā, we should also know from whom we should learn. We should not learn from somebody who learned Bhagavad-gītā in the backyard of your house, right? So what you should learn from Bhagavad-gītā should be learned from whom? That is given here. Like Sambradaya Vihinaye Mandraste Nishpalamataha Kalo Bhavishyanti Chatvara Sambradayinaha Sri Brahma Rudra Sanaka Vaishnavakshiti Bhavana Chatvaraste Kalo Bhavya Utkadaya Purushottamat. It's mentioned here. See, any mantra, if you receive any mantra, any knowledge from a person who is not coming in a sampradaya, we'll learn what is sampradaya later. If somebody is not coming in a parampara, is not coming in a sampradaya, is not coming in a proper recognized university, then mantraste nishpalamadi, that knowledge is considered to be waste. You will not have perfect knowledge. Kalo bhavishyanti chatvara sampradayinaha. There are 4 sampradayas in Kali Yuga. One sampradaya is Sri Sampradaya, then there is Brahma Sampradaya, then there is Rudra Sampradaya, then there is Sanaka Sampradaya, Kumara Sampradaya. So these are 4 sampradayas. Sri Sampradaya, Brahma Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, Kumara Sampradaya. Sanaka means one of the Kumaras. There are 4 Kumaras. They are 4 considered to be one unit. You are called Chadursanas or Kumaras. One Kumaras is Sanaka. Sanatana, Sanandana, Sanat Kumara. There are 4 Kumaras. So these 4 are the Vaishnava Sampradayas. Kshitipavanaha, that which actually purify the periphery of earth. Purifies the earth. Okay, and all these 4 sampradayas will start from Purushottama Kshetra Jagannath Puri in Orissa. they will assemble there, because in Kali Yuga the most merciful Lord is Lord Jagannath. So all the sampradayas will reach there. They will all preach from that place of Purushottama Kshetra, that is Jagannath Puri. So there are 4 sampradayas. Let us learn something more about 4 sampradayas. Ramanujam Sri Vichakre Madhvacharyam Chaturmukha Sri Vishnu Swaminam Rudro Nimbadityam Chadussanaha. See here, Lord Krishna, the knowledge is originator of the knowledge is Krishna, because every knowledge is starting from Krishna. He is the original personality, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadiradar Govinda, Sarvakarana Karana. And he is disseminating this knowledge through these 4 sampradayas in Kali Yuga. One sampradaya is Brahma. He speaks through Lord Brahma, and then he speaks through Lakshmi Devi, he speaks through Lord Shiva, and he speaks through 4 Kumaras. Okay, see, these 4 Kumaras are eternally young people, young children. So even though they are like children, they are most knowledgeable persons. Therefore, Krishna has given, disseminated this knowledge, the transcendent knowledge, through them also. So in Kali Yuga, in particularly in this age of Kali, in this earth, right now, Lord Brahma Sampradaya was established by Madhvacharya. Sri Lakshmi Ji Sampradaya was established by Ramanujacharya. Lord Shiva Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya is manifested by Vishnu Swami, and Kumara Sampradaya was manifested by Nimbarkacharya. These are the 4 acharyas available in Kali Yuga. And that means they are the heads of the universities. Brahma Sampradaya University, Lakshmi Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya University, Rudra Sampradaya University, and Kumara Sampradaya University. We say in terms of the present terms, like university. Okay, so in this way you can see our parampara is called Srila Bhakti-Vedanta Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is coming in the parampara of Brahma Sampradaya. We can see our parampara. We can see this parampara. Bhagavad-gītā is written by A.C. Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. He is here in 32nd position. His guru was Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Not that Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Prabhupada one fine day became enlightened and wrote himself and then he became spiritual master. Not like that. He learned under the instruction of his guru, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who learned under the instruction of his guru, Gaudadas Babaji Maharaj, who learned under the instruction of his guru, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who learned under the instruction of his guru, Jagannadas Babaji Maharaj. This way, it goes on to Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself. When Krishna himself came as a devotee, he accepted a parampara like this. He accepted his guru, Ishvara Puri, as his guru. And then you have Madhavendra Puri, Lakshmi Muni, Vyasatirtha. This way, if you go, you will come up to Madhvacharya, Vyasadeva, Vedavyasa, and Narada Muni, Brahma, and Krishna. So it starts from Krishna, and right now, we are receiving this same transcendental knowledge through this parampara, and His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada has written down this. So that is why reading this Bhagavad-gītā is very, very, very important. At the end of this class, I will share in the chat a link with which you can buy this Bhagavad-gītā also. So this is Bhagavad-gītā. Everybody must have a copy of this Gita in your house. You can take it from us. I can share you the link and you can buy it from us. Or you can also buy it from, make sure it is Bhagavad-gītā as it is. Buy from anywhere. There is many ISKCON temples. If you step into any ISKCON temple, you can buy this Bhagavad-gītā and read every day at least a few 3-4 slokas every day along with this meaning, purport. Then you can become a pure devotee of Krishna. All the entire knowledge will be given to you. Everybody can receive this knowledge. Okay, this is the power of parampara. And this parampara is starting from Krishna, right? So Krishna appears in this world. So these things we need to know. When do Krishna appear? why does the Lord appear, and what happens by gaining this knowledge, all that we will learn step by step now. When does the Lord appear? Yada yada hi dharmasya. It's a famous sloka in front of Mahabharata, you must have heard many times. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyudhanam adharmasya tadatmanam sujamyaham. Yada yada hi dharmasya glani. Dharmasya glani means a decline in religious practice. Dharma has declined. Whenever there is a decline in dharma, at that time I will come. Why? For what? For abhyudhanam adharmasya. Dharma is coming down means adharma is going up. To actually destroy the adharma and re-establish dharma, tadatmanam sajamyaham. Therefore, I come myself. Tadatmanam, I myself come. Srijami. Srijami means I will come. I will descend. I will incarnate. It's an avatar. So Krishna is saying. So when does he come? Whenever there is no dharma, whenever there is heavy progress in adharma, at that time Krishna comes in order to re-establish the dharma. And he comes and does what? Where does he come? Paritranaya sadhuna. He comes to deliver the pious. The first reason is not to kill the enemies, not to kill the miscreants, to actually deliver the pious souls. The devotees, helping the devotees. Sadhu means devotee, pious people. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya dushkritam, for destroying all the irreligious people, miscreants, and dharma samsthapanarthaya, for re-establishing the principles of religion. I come. Sambhavami yuge yuge. Every millennium after millennium I will come. I will appear. So what is the purpose? Why does the Lord appear? Three purposes for the Lord. Paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya dushkritam, dharma samsthapanarthaya. So these are the three things that Krishna wants to establish in this world. That is why he is appearing himself, personally is coming. See, and if you know all these things, what will happen? If you have this transcendental knowledge of, when Krishna comes, how Krishna comes, and how to achieve this knowledge, all that if you know, what will happen? Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvadah tektva deham punarjanmanedi mamedi sarjuna. If you actually know, one who knows the transcendental nature, see here coming transcendental means divyam. The word divyam is translated as transcendental, means which is beyond our imagination. Which is beyond our imagination. The Lord's appearance is beyond our imagination. And if you just accept in tattva, even though you don't know much about Krishna's truth, but still you just accept in principle. Yes, he is the Supreme Lord. Whenever he does something, it is not a natural thing. There are so many reasons behind it. And this is all his pastime. He is coming here to attract all of us so that we will be saved from this repeated birth, death in this world. This horrible world we can save ourselves from. Any time death will come in this world, right? Very dangerous place. But Krishna is coming to save us from this place. So therefore, Krishna's appearance is divine. It is transcendental. If you know this much, then what happens? Tektva deham punarjanmanedi. After leaving this body, you will not accept again another janma, another life. Mamedi, if you don't accept, where you will go? Mamedi, he will come to me, Krishna is telling. Those who know the transcendental nature of Krishna, they will go to Krishna. That is the profit of reading Bhagavad-gītā, understanding this knowledge. Ultimately, we can go back to Krishna. We don't have to take another horrible birth in this horrible world. Okay, this is the purpose. This is what happens if you have this transcendental knowledge. So the lesson is, when Krishna has made such an elaborate education system, it is our duty at least to search an affiliated university, parampara, and find the right teacher, guru. It's our duty. Krishna has arranged everything. There are so many people. There are, thousands of editions of Bhagavad-gītā. If you read any of those Bhagavad-gītā, you will not become devotee. Why? Because you will become devotee by reading a Bhagavad-gītā that is coming in a parampara. So I strongly recommend, and it is not because I am coming in this parampara, I strongly recommend because I have received this transcendental knowledge and become happy. Therefore, I want also you to be happy and properly guided by Srila Prabhupada, who has written this book, Bhagavad-gītā, who has written this Bhagavad-gītā as it is. So, Prabhupada's Bhagavad-gītā is known as Bhagavad-gītā as it is. So, he is like a bona fide Acharya from a bona fide parampara in an affiliated university, affiliated with Krishna's, Krishna's parampara. Therefore, we must actually take lessons from such acharyas like Prabhupada, and then at least we should take that much of effort. That's our duty actually. Okay. And then Krishna removes, by knowing this through the proper parampara, what is the benefit? And that will remove so many misconceptions. See here, in the fourth chapter, Krishna is removing so many misconceptions. See people, there is a heavy misconception about caste system. There is a heavy misconception that all spiritual paths lead to supreme, the same destination. All that is removed. How it is removed is given in this sloka. Chadurvarnyam maya srishtam gunakarma vibhagashaha tasya kartaram amimam vidhyakartaram amvayam. According to the three modes of material nature and the work associated with them, the four divisions of human society are created by me. And although I am the creator of the system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchanging. So this is a wonderful shloka. See, there are four classes of Krishna has established the society like that. This is a scientific division of society. Because you will find, if somebody is a teacher, they will know. You will find different types of children coming to the class. Some children are very sharp. You will immediately learn and you will teach others. You will tell other students also. And some people are very interested in extracurricular activities, doing this, doing that, fighting with people, doing this, being a class leader. All that he will do. He may not be so expert in studies, but he may be a class leader. He may do so many other things. And then there are somebody who is interested in, if they will join in Sanjayga, they will join in small, saving systems. They will, whatever money they get from their parents for this and that, they don't spend, they keep it together, put it in a bank. That kind of students are also there. There are some students who are interested in cleaning the room and helping the people, and whenever anybody wants, somebody is having headache, he will, sir, I will go and get water. He will immediately go and get water for them. All the service-oriented people are there. So there are four types of people actually. Basically, Krishna is not, not like us. Krishna is so intelligent. He understood, he divided the whole society into four classes. Okay, and one is Brahmana. His duty is Yajana, Yajana, Padana, Padana, Dana, Pratigraha. He will, Padana, Padana, he will do. He will learn and he will teach. That's the duty of a Brahmana. He is not so much after money or anything. And then there is a person, there is a class of people, Kshatriya, Rajas, great kings, warriors. They will protect the dharma. And then there are people who will maintain the society. They are called Vaishyas. These are called Kshatriyas. And then here they are called Vaishyas. Vaishya means they will make money and they will protect the society. They will make a lot of money. If they don't make money, then we can also have nothing. We also cannot get money. They will produce money, economy. They will maintain the economy of the country. Vaishyas. And then Shudras. There are people who are willing to do constructing the houses, constructing big factories, working in the factory, doing this, doing that. Shudras. There are four classes of people even today. This is not an artificial system. This is a natural system. There is in Purusha Sukta in Rigveda, there is a saying that there is a mantra that says Brahmanosya Mukhamasit Bahu Rajanyakrudaha Guru Tadasya Vaishya Vyagam Shudro Ajayata. So there it is mentioned that if you consider the whole society as a person, as a man, the body of a man, body of a person, then his head is Brahmana. His hands are Kshatriya, his stomach is Vaishya, and his legs are Shudra. Tell me which is more important or which is less important. In this, everything is important. Hands are important, legs are important, head is important, stomach is important, everything is important. See, you cannot say, even if one small, portion of one small finger, gets a prick, we get so much pain. We take leave for the whole day because my leg was pricked by a thorn, right? So everything is important. All the four societies, all the four groups, all the four sections of the society are important. Krishna is not thinking Brahmana is better or Kshatriya is better or Vaishya is better or Shudra is better or bad, whatever. No. Actually, it is mentioned Kalo Shudra Sambhava in Kali Yuga. Everybody will be born as Shudra. Nobody will be having all these qualities. So it is the quality. It is the quality that matters. Guna karma vibhagasha. The so-called caste system has been reduced. Prabhupada has mentioned that caste system cast out. We don't want that. There is no more caste system. Have you ever heard a doctor's son become doctor without studying MBBS? Have you ever heard anything like that? Have you ever heard a judge's son has become judge because he's the son of a judge? No. He has to have practice. So this is called guna karma. Activity and guna, the mode of nature. A person should have good nature, should have goodness, mode of goodness. So the brain will accept new things. You can learn, becomes a Brahmana. See here you can see the books, Mala, Japamala books. He will teach public, is Brahmana. And then we have sword and all that, sword and other things. Kshatriya, a person who is very passionate. He will stand for dharma at any cost. He is willing to die for dharma. Then he becomes Kshatriya. Then there are Vaishyas who are so interested in making money and employing a lot of people and giving a lot of opportunity for many people and increasing the wealth of the country. They are Vaishyas. And then Shudras. They get employed. They get employed by all these people. They get employed by the Vaishyas. And if there is nobody is producing agriculture, nobody is producing rice, what will we eat? We will have to eat this plastic rice only, like Chinese produce. Plastic rice. You have to eat plastic rice. So there should be agriculturists. There should be people to work, make big buildings, make big factories, make machines. All this coming under the Shudra section. See, the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. And all these, four classes of people, they should actually learn to respect their particular duty. See, the guna, according to our guna only we can do. I am a person who don't know. I cannot learn anything. But the father is a doctor. Father thinks I have an hospital. So I want to father is thinking I am a doctor. I want to make my son also a doctor. And the son is not interested in becoming doctor. The father will give 1 crore in some university and put his son in the thing and force him to become a doctor. Then he will become a doctor. What will happen? He is not interested in doctor job. What will happen? He will kill people by treating. So he will not want to kill people. So what he will do? He will put another hospital and he will administration he will do. But only for name he is a doctor, he will do administration. The real doctors will be called to treat. Right? This is going on actually. So we should not force anything. We should know what is the thing that I am interested in. I am interested in learning. Okay, I should take a Brahmanic life. I am interested in ruling. Okay, I should take a Kshatriya life. And I am interested in doing business and cow protection. I should become a Vaishya. And I am interested in labor. Then I should become a Shudra. Becoming Shudra is not at all a bad thing. He is also part and parcel of the Lord. Okay. So this is very important. So the life lesson from this is we should choose our career very carefully. And very carefully, and we should choose a life based on our guna. Guna means our nature, our interest, and karma, the activity that we are interested in, not on the external factors. Simply, I want to do this, I want to become like this. No. That way, you would excel the field you choose. So, Krishna consciousness, Krishna is telling nobody should become a doctor. He is saying everybody should become a good doctor. nobody should become a student. No, everybody should become a good student. Be a good student, be a good Kshatriya, good Vaishya, good Brahmana, and good Shudra. Be good in whatever field you select. This is very important. If you don't choose according to our interest and spirit, then we will be a failure in our life. This is very important lesson that we should learn from this. Okay. So, determination of caste by birth is refuted in Bhagavad-gītā. Another misconception, Krishna is removing all misconceptions. One is caste system, another one you see here. People think, I go to God, I go to Ganesha, I break a coconut in front of him, or I break my head in front of him, and then I will say, please give me this, give me that, then I will get good marks, then I will do this, then I will become successful in my life. So, then if you ask them, they'll say, I am spiritually oriented. Because why? I am doing this. No, but you did not worship Ganesha, you did business with him. You're not concerned about Ganesha. You are not understanding. You are not bothered about knowing who is Ganesha. You are not bothered to love Ganesha. You are only wanting something from Ganesha. You want him to remove all the obstacles from your path. You want him to bless you so that you will become big. You will be successful. Successful in the sense you will get so much of sense gratification. That is the end of it. But then sense gratification will get over at the end of this life. Then where you will be? Next life, where you will go? So worshipping demigod is not equal to worshipping Krishna. Demigods, there are so many gods, you can worship Ganesha, you can worship Shiva. They will give you everything. But Lord Shiva himself is saying in Shiva Purana itself, Mukti Pradada Sarvesham Vishnu Revana Samshya. If you want liberation, if you want eternal life, you better worship Vishnu. Vishnu Revana Samshya, there is no doubt. Only Vishnu can give you liberation. So that Lord Shiva himself is saying. So Vinayaka, Lord Ganesha, Yatpa Daballava Yugam Vididaya Kumbha Dadve Pranama Samayese Ganadhiraja Vignan Vihandava Namasya Jagatrayasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. See, Lord Ganesha is engaged in removing the obstacles in the path of so many, not only people from earth, all the three worlds, even demigods worship Ganesha to remove the obstacles. And that Ganesha is always holding in the stimuli, is always holding the lotus feet of Vishnu. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. This is from Brahma Samhita. So there are so many things like that. So this misconception is that, I am not going to Vishnu temple or Krishna temple, I am going to Shakti temple nearby. Okay, fine, that's good. Surrendering to some authority is good, but if you want to follow Bhagavad-gītā, then Krishna is saying, you worship me. You worship me. Okay, we are supposed to worship him according to his own order. Ananyas Chintayanto Mam. We will come to that sloka in the 9th chapter. So I am not saying that now. So now I am making this statement that we must worship Krishna. Why we must worship Krishna will come in future chapters. So there is one misconception. Like worshipping, everybody is saying. Yadomat tatopat. How many ever paths are there? That many. All paths lead to one goal. That is not possible. And then there's another misconception that people, jnana yogis, those who are only interested in jnana, they realize, they think about life. They realize, I am not this body, I am not this mind, I am not the intelligence. Then who am I? Finally they come to know, I am Atma. Then when they say, I am Atma or I am Atma, and then they will think, I am God. No, Atma is not God. Brahman is not God. It is mentioned in Vedanta Sutra, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. It is not mentioned anywhere, I am Param Brahmasmi. So it is not God. I am not God. Then Paramatma. This Brahman is there, Paramatma is there. Means that slowly as he progresses in understanding, he will understand God is with me. Paramatma is with me. He is Krishna. Krishna is there with me as Paramatma. That is Paramatma. Yogis realize Bhagava Paramatma. And then devotees realize Bhagavan. Okay. This misconception we should clear off. Brahman means Brahman is having Sat and eternality. These are the two qualities that Brahman has. Whereas Paramatma has Chit and Sat, knowledge and eternality. Then Bhagavan has three qualities. Ananda also. Sat, Chit, Ananda. So this we must understand. So different flights. So that's what saying. There are many ways. If you want to go to Delhi, you cannot catch the flight to Chennai. If you land up inside the flight and then you say, oh, I want to go to Delhi, then you cannot reach. You will reach the opposite direction, Chennai, right? So therefore, we should know that different flights goes to different destination. Decide where you want to go and buy the ticket appropriately. Yanti Deva Prada Devan, if you worship Devas, you will go to Devas. Pitri Yanti Pitra Pratan, if you worship Pitras, you will go to Pitras. Bhudani Yanti Bhudeji, if you worship the people around here, serve the humanity, you will come back again as human. And then Mad Bhakta Yanti Mamapi, those who are my devotees will come back to me, Krishna is saying. So destination is different. Karmano hyapi bodhavyam chati karmanaha akarmanascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gadi. So the intricacies of action are very hard to understand. Therefore, we should know what properly action is. There are three types of action. So we are three types of actions. That is karma, vikarma, and akarma. What is karma? Karma means pious action. Enjoy. By doing pious action, by following the authorities, you enjoy, but you get rebirth. What is vikarma? You do sinful action without following anybody, anything, and you suffer and again be born in lower species of life. But here, those who are doing karma, their thing will be good. And then akarma, in action, you don't do anything. You just, that's a method of following Bhagavad-gītā. You can go to spiritual world. There is no rebirth. You will only enjoy by studying Bhagavad-gītā and understanding what is akarma. We have in physics, those who are a physics student, you will know that how do you measure the force? How do you measure the work done? The force into displacement. Force into displacement is called work done. So in here, if you simply push a wall, it won't move. How much ever hard you have worked to push the wall, if it does not move, that means you have not done any work. Similarly, you will do every activity, but you are not wanting to enjoy. There is no displacement. Therefore, there is akarma. You are not wanting to do anything. You just want to be Krishna's servant. That's all. So, therefore, we must know when we do vikarma, we get rebirth, we suffer. When we do karma, we enjoy, we get rebirth also. And if you simply study Bhagavad-gītā and follow in your life, you go to spiritual world. So, therefore, you must know Krishna is not responsible for our situation. Okay, that rain comes on rocks, ocean, fertile land, everywhere. Rain is impartial. Similarly, Krishna is showing his blessings to everybody, but whether you are taking it or not, that is the matter. And then, therefore, to understand all these things, we must approach a bona fide spiritual master who is coming in a parampara, as I explained to you earlier. Inquire from submissively and render service to him. Because he is self-realized, he can tell us what to do, what is the truth. Okay, therefore this is very important. So a teacher will teach you how to train you in sacrifice. Sacrifice means giving up. See, the teacher will say, Krishna is saying, you are attached not to fight. But Krishna is saying you fight. Then he rejected his thought. He rejected his attachment and he fought vehemently. Right? Arjuna fought vehemently while following. So the spiritual master teaches the student how to sacrifice. The sacrifice is a big thing. Actually, performing sacrifice. By performing sacrifice, see here we mentioned caliber versus character. By mugging up some books, you can have so much of caliber. Okay, mundane knowledge is from mundane knowledge you can get caliber, but you cannot get character from mundane knowledge. For getting character is developed by performing sacrifice, giving up for others. Oh, somebody is suffering. I have two of this. Somebody is not having one. I will give one to him. This is sacrifice. Great sacrifice. I have got two pencils. That boy is suffering without pencil. I will give him a pencil. Start from there. Life should start from there. That brings character. Okay. And you take somebody else's pencil also and keep, that character is bad character. Right? So the life starts from there in the small age. Controlling the senses. Character development is controlling the senses. Using the mind, you control the senses. You don't release it. You want to eat something, drink something. No, you will control the senses. So your health will become pakka. And then surrender to the authority. Intellectually, you learn Bhagavad-gītā and you learn how I am supposed to actually practice things in my life. Then you surrender to the authority. There is intellectual. And then there is intellectual character. Then action. In your action, you should be very humble and you should have a service attitude. This is very important. Okay. Another thing is about chanting. How do you develop all these things? The topmost, we say, sacrifice. That brings up character. The topmost sacrifice is devotional service to Krishna. That involves chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That involves reading Bhagavad-gītā, Srimad Bhagavatam. That involves following 4 regulatory principles of freedom. What are the 4 regulatory principles of freedom? That is coming in the next class in the 5th chapter. So I will not look into it. Now, life-sustaining things are easily available. See, oxygen was easily available. Nowadays, many people are dying without oxygen. You see, and we spoiled the atmosphere. We put so much of smoke and other things and spoil the atmosphere and reduce the oxygen. And then water, also we waste, we dump wrong things in the water. All dirty things, decayed things put in water, spoil the water. We don't value them. We don't also value spirituality. Bhagavad-gītā is right there in front of us. We don't learn to value them. We don't have interest in learning. That is very unfortunate. So we should actually value this knowledge given by Krishna. Then it is good for our own life. It is not for anybody else. It is not for Krishna is speaking. It is not for me I am speaking to you. It is for your own good. It's for my own good. Okay, that we should take it up and we should follow. In essence, Bhagavad-gītā is, the 4th chapter says, eternal education must be there. And who can acquire knowledge? From whom we should acquire? What is it all about? Then we spoke about Krishna removing misconceptions, spoke about karma, vikarma, karma, spoke about the most sacrifice of chanting, reading, sense control, how this became a sacrifice, and how character is important than caliber, and even though caliber is also important, character is more important. And then we should approach a teacher who teaches to sacrifice. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. This is the 4th chapter of Bhagavad-gītā. Okay. So now let us. Now I request everybody to please go to the chat and see. Now I request you to go to the chat. One very important announcement. Dear participants, please don't move from here. 1 minute. I have in the chat, I have put a small link which you have used for registration. So if you put this link, you will get a form. And in this form, there are a few more requirements that is given. That is, you may have to put your phone number, your address, all that. So it is meant for, so we are also creating a WhatsApp group now, and we will let you know all the programs, similar programs that we will have. And we request you also, the new form. Those who have filled up the form also, encourage you to also please fill up more forms in this form again. And then what you do is fill up your mobile number, country, city, your address basically, and then you share this with us. So in the chat box you can do also. So according to the language, and we can actually ask the current participants also to again fill in the form. We also encourage you to participate. Those who have not filled up the form, joined from WhatsApp group, you also fill up this form, please, and send it to us immediately. Send it to the same. We encourage you to fill up this form. Okay? And filling up this form, if you have already filled up, don't give a different email ID. Give the same email ID. And, we are planning to create a WhatsApp group in near future. So we will have recordings of all these different classes. It will be very encouraging for you. But different speakers will come and give you different things, presentations and all that. It will be very, very useful for your life and progress. Therefore, temple programs, yatras, in your place, whatever, opportunities you have in devotion service, all that will be shared with you. Therefore, request all of you to kindly fill up this form today once again. Okay? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Please tell others also if you know. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Tell me.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I did not got the link. Can you send it again?
In the chat, you see in the chat, it is there.
No, sir. It got disconnected. There is nothing.
Date? No, there is no date. There is only link is.
Excuse me, sir.
I will share the link now again. Okay.
Okay,
Excuse me, sir.
Here, HTTPS.
Sir, we need to fill up this form now.
Yeah.
Now
You can
only.
fill up this form. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Please fill up this form. It will be very useful for you also.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Pranam. Can you please show the first life lesson which you have shared in the PPT for today?
Right? Pardon?
First life lesson which I showed.
First life lesson you want to know?
Yes, Prabhuji. First life lesson.
I will do that. Sure, I will do that.
No, this is the last one, but the first one I'm talking about.
Okay, one second. First life lesson. Let's come. Where is the first life lesson? See here. When Krishna has made such elaborate education system, it is our duty to search an affiliated university parampara and find the right teacher guru.
Okay, okay.
Right? Thank you. Hare Krishna. Anything else? Anybody wants to know?
This one. What does the word guna mean?
Pardon?
What does the word guna mean? What does the word guna mean?
Pardon?
What does the word guna mean?
What's the word?
Guna. Oh, okay, okay.
Guna.
Laws of nature.
Guna karma vibhagasha. Guna means quality.
Can you once show the second life lesson?
Second life lesson. Okay. First one is over. Life lesson. Determination of caste by birth is refuted in Bhagavad-gītā.
Oh, the one choose your career and life lesson.
Choose your career and life based on your guna and karma. Guna means your quality. That means your interest. Whether you are in the mode of goodness, you like to study mathematics, you study mathematics, don't go and become a doctor. You like to be a doctor, don't go and try to study engineering. See? And whatever your guna is, interest is, you perform. If you perform your according to your interest, you will do very good in your life. Right? This is Krishna's teaching actually.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I have one question.
Yeah,
I put it on the chat box. You mentioned, or maybe my understanding is incorrect. You mentioned that akarma is inaction. So that means you shouldn't do any action, but Arjuna did action.
Yeah, correct. That's a very good question. I expected this because this is coming tomorrow's class. That's why I didn't elaborate on this. Tomorrow again we will describe in detail. It is action in
Prabhuji, can you please show the last live lesson?
I'm just, let me answer this question, okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So, because it's a very important question. So, that's why I gave you any hint that the work done is calculated by the force applied and the displacement, right? Work done is calculated as force into displacement. But if there is no displacement, how much ever hard you worked for pushing the ball, you have not done any work. Similarly, how much ever work you maybe do, Arjuna has done everything, but he did not do anything for himself. He did everything for the satisfaction of Krishna. That is called akarma, inaction. You have not anything, you have not done anything for yourself. So you have not done any action. You have just acted for Krishna, Krishna's sake. For example, if you work in a company and you have to represent the company in the court, you have to represent the company in the police station, that doesn't mean you have become a criminal that you are entering the police station, or that doesn't mean you have become a client of the court. So you are representing the organization. You are not affected by all that. The organization is affected by. You are working on the interest of the organization. Similarly, you are working on the interest of Krishna. Therefore, yours is inaction. Even though your body is active, mind is active, intelligence is active, everything is active, but still you are performing inaction. Why you are performing inaction? Because you are not doing on your own. You are just following the instruction of the spiritual master. You are leading your life according to Krishna's instructions. Similarly, here, even though Arjuna fought the same war as Karna fought, but Karna got, Karna did not get the same benefit as Arjuna. Arjuna got the benefit of being friend of Krishna and benefit of going back to Krishna. Whereas Karna got the benefit of only going to heavenly planets. He could not go back to Krishna because he did not work for Krishna. Right? So therefore, because he died in the battlefield, he may have gone to heavenly planets, but then he could not reach the same destination. Similarly, when we perform an activity, if that activity is what that activity is impelled by, if the activity is impelled by our own lust, our own desire, then that is called karma. If it is impelled by our own thing without reference to the shastras or authorities, then it's called vikarma. If it is our own desire according to the shastra direction, it is called karma. But if it is performance is done according to Krishna's desire, what Krishna has spoken in Bhagavad-gītā or through the spiritual master, then that is called inaction, not performing any action. Akarma, that does not mean we are eating and sleeping only, not doing any work. We are doing work, but we are doing work not for ourselves. Okay?
Thank you so much. That made it very clear.
Yeah, thank you very much. So now somebody wanted, yeah?
Prabhuji, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, I didn't understand caliber versus character.
Caliber versus character. Okay. So I will share that, okay?
Okay, Prabhuji.
Caliber versus character. See here. Caliber means capacity to do something, right? You are so expert in singing, you are so expert in making things with the hand, you are so expert in drawing. That is caliber, right? That is mundane knowledge. That knowledge ends when the body ends. But whereas character, that will take us beyond our death. Not only through the life it will protect us, it will also take us beyond death. See, when a person becomes character oriented, he becomes aware that I am not the only person living. Everybody is part and parcel of Krishna, and I should actually engage, in service to everyone. We have a service attitude. We are very humble. We are surrendered to the authority. We listen to our elders. We listen to the spiritual master. We listen to Krishna. We control our senses. The father says, don't eat chocolate. So we say, okay, I will not eat chocolate, my father told. No? That's the meaning of controlling the senses for a child. Okay, similarly we perform sacrifices like that. So then that increases the character. Everybody will like a person who is willing to help, who is willing to surrender to the authority, who is willing to listen to the elders, who is having a service attitude, who is willing to give up something for somebody else. See, we are all sitting, sometimes we go in the bus, public bus, and then we are all sitting. One old person comes up. He comes up and there is no seat for him to sit. He is falling down. He is moving this. When the bus is putting brake, he is falling down like that. So one person, everybody is sitting, closing the eyes and acting as though he is sleeping. As though I am not seeing this old man suffering. And then one person gets up, sir, please sit down here, sir. I will stand, no problem. I can stand, I have energy to stand. You sit down. This is called sacrifice, right? You are sacrificing your comfort. You are not acting as though you are sleeping. You are helping somebody. It's called sacrifice. That's a character. That means that person is very nice. You can believe that person. He is not a cheater. He is not a bad guy. He is a very good person. Right? This is the meaning of character. But person may be having very good calibers, but he may not have character. If that old man falls on his head, he will say, hey, go, old man falling on my head. He will neither give place for him to sit, and he will also chastise that person. So therefore, we should develop that character. Yeah?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
I have a question. Prabhuji,
Hello.
Yeah? Hare
one
Krishna.
small question, Prabhuji. I am aware of one mantra. I go to some Hanuman temple. It is the same, but a slight difference. It is like Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Yes.
I want to know, Prabhuji, are both the mantras same? Will we get the same blessings from Krishna if I chant the other mantra?
Actually, original mantra is a lot of things we are getting into prematurely. Actually, these things will be dealt with in 15th chapter, 12th chapter, like that. But then, because you asked, I'm telling you one very secret. The original mantra is what you heard: Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Is the original Upanishad mantra. This mantra is found in Kali Santarana Upanishad. But the problem here is the mantra cannot be chanted by everybody or any time. Some people who are not taking bath, some people not able to take bath, some people walking, some people traveling, some people doing this, that, some people don't have faith in. Such people should not chant this Vedic mantras. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya, Krishna himself came down as Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Krishna himself came down as Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya explained that, okay, don't worry, you chant this mantra the other way around. But like Valmiki, Valmiki was not able to chant Rama, Rama, Rama. He was not able to chant. So Narada Muni told him to chant Mara, 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 Mara. He asked him to chant Mara. Mara means tree. Mara, 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 Mara. He started chanting Mara, Mara. It became Rama, Rama. Similarly, Lord Chaitanya said, a Vedic mantra should be chanted very carefully. You should avoid so many offenses. Offenses are like, you should not disbelieve in this. You should sit in a particular direction, and you should, while chanting, you should not think anything else. You should be fully concentrated. If you don't do all these things, the mantra will not have its effect. So therefore, Lord Chaitanya said, you don't chant the Vedic mantra now. You chant the other way around. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. By doing this, you get more benefit. Why? Because the offenses will not affect you by Lord Chaitanya's mercy. Therefore, anyway, we are chanting the same mantra, but the other way around, if you chant, you will get the full benefit of chanting the mantra. But if you chant the Vedic way, you will not get the full benefit. You will get the full benefit only if you follow those regulative principles. But then I'm sure in Kali Yuga it is not possible for everybody to follow these principles. Go and take bath, sit facing towards east, sit down peacefully and chant Hare Krishna. Not possible. But if you say, okay, while traveling in a bus I can chant, while traveling in a train I can chant, while driving I can chant, then you will be encouraged to chant, right? You will have the same effect. That's the same effect.
So, Prabhuji, there are no rules.
There are no hard and fast rules for chanting the mantra.
Okay,
But
Prabhuji.
there is some rules, of course, that rules are, common basic rules that we will come later.
Okay.
Like we had following 4 regulative principles. And that regulative principle I didn't take up today because tomorrow that's a big topic. So I didn't say that today.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, I have a question. So you spoke about the caste which is refuted by Bhagavad-gītā, right? By the birth, what caste we acquire. So how do we categorize ourselves? So is it based on the profession, or how do we?
It is actually based on our activity and our interest. Say you are a teacher. Suppose you are a teacher. You are teaching somebody lessons. No matter whatever teacher you are, maybe mathematics, chemistry, whatever, you have a tendency to learn and teach others. This is the quality of a Brahmana. Say you are a leader, you are a political leader, who want to respond to the society, the imbalances in society, and then you want to make things all right. You are struggling for that. You are a Kshatriya, and you are a person interested in money making or business. Then you are a Vaishya. Your natural interest is that means you are a Vaishya. Then you are interested in helping others, working out things, constructing houses or doing things like that. Then you are a Shudra. So then we will know according to whatever it is we don't, there is no problem. In that field we should be expert. That's the only matter. So that field will become better, best actually. Right?
So what about the engineers, doctors, and the judge or anything? So
They're not according to their character. What type of engineer? There are so many different types of engineer. For example, somebody wants to go to wants to be an aeronautical engineer who wants to fly high and do things like that. And somebody who wants to build a temple. Or somebody wants to build a temple. An engineer who wants to build a temple. He become akarmi. He has no caste. A devotee of Krishna has no caste. Caste system, caste out. A devotee of Krishna has no caste. But we are talking about this caste only for guna, our interest. Please don't mistake me. Our guna is, our interest is in something. So that interest we should pursue. That's what Krishna is talking about guna.
okay.
Rajo
Thank
guna,
you.
tamo guna. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Can we learn slokas of our own, or from any Guruji we have to?
We will have sessions in future. We will have sessions for learning shlokas also. There are some methods to learn shlokas, some easy techniques that we can teach. Maybe after finishing this course, we will have another course on that. We are planning. That's why we ask you to fill up those forms.
Oh, okay, Prabhuji.
And we will inform.
Prabhuji, until then, can we just read the summary? Is it okay? Without slokas, until we
Okay,
learn.
sure. If you find it very difficult, at least you read the translations and purport.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. See you again tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
See you
Krishna.
tomorrow again. Hare Krishna.